Real estate has created more millionaires than any other investment vehicle in history. But here's the problem. Most people either don't know how to get started, are paralyzed by fear of making expensive mistakes, or follow advice that leads them to buy properties that drain wealth instead of building it. That's where Brandon Turner comes in. Today, we're exploring The Book on Rental Property Investing by Brandon Turner, host of the Bigger Pockets podcast and one of the most successful real estate investors and educators in the world. This isn't theory from someone who read about real estate. It's practical wisdom from someone who built substantial wealth through rental properties and has taught thousands of others to do the same. What makes this book invaluable is its completeness and practicality. Turner doesn't just tell you that rental properties build wealth. He shows you exactly how to find them, analyze them, finance them, manage them, and build a portfolio that generates passive income and long-term wealth. He addresses every question beginners have and every mistake they're likely to make, providing frameworks that work in any market. The book's central message is that rental property investing isn't about luck or being in the right place at the right time. It's a systematic process that anyone can learn and execute. You don't need to be rich, have perfect credit, or live in an expensive market. You need knowledge, discipline, and action. Over the next 20 minutes, we'll explore Turner's complete system for rental property investing, why rental properties are such powerful wealth-building tools, how to find and analyze deals that actually make money, the various financing strategies from conventional mortgages to creative techniques, how to make offers and negotiate successfully, managing properties for maximum returns, and scaling from your first property to a wealth-building portfolio. If you've ever wanted to invest in real estate but didn't know where to start, if you're tired of your money sitting in low-return savings accounts, if you want to build passive income that can eventually replace your job income, or if you simply want to understand how successful real estate investors actually build wealth, this is your complete guide. Let's discover how to create wealth through intelligent rental property investing. Chapter 1. Why Rental Properties? Turner opens by making the case for why rental properties are one of the most powerful wealth-building investments available. He identifies what he calls the 4 profit centers of rental real estate that work simultaneously to build wealth. Profit Center 1. Cash flow. This is the monthly income after all expenses are paid. If a property generates $2,000 in rent and costs $1,500 in mortgage, taxes, insurance, maintenance, and other expenses, the $500 difference is monthly cash flow. Annually, that's $6,000 of income without selling the property. Turner emphasizes that cash flow is what makes rental properties unique among investments. Stocks don't pay you monthly. Your primary residence costs you money monthly, but a properly selected rental property pays you monthly for owning it. This cash flow provides current income, can fund acquisition of more properties, and creates financial security. Profit Center 2. Appreciation. Real estate tends to increase in value over time. While appreciation isn't guaranteed and varies by market, historically property values have increased roughly in line with inflation, plus some additional growth. A property bought for $200,000 might be worth $300,000 in 10 years through natural appreciation. Turner distinguishes between natural appreciation, market forces, and forced appreciation, improvements that increase value. Both build wealth, but forced appreciation is more controllable. You can actively increase property value through smart renovations and improvements. Profit Center 3. Loan paydown. When tenants pay rent, part of that rent pays your mortgage. Each payment reduces the loan balance, building equity. Even if the property doesn't appreciate at all, after 30 years the mortgage is paid off and you own the property free and clear, all while tenants paid the mortgage. Turner illustrates the power of this. On a $200,000 loan, roughly $40,000 of principal gets paid down in the first 10 years. That's $40,000 of forced savings paid by tenants, building your equity automatically. Profit Center 4. Tax benefits. Rental property owners receive substantial tax advantages. Mortgage interest is deductible. Property taxes are deductible. Operating expenses are deductible. Depreciation provides a non-cash deduction that reduces taxable income. These benefits can shelter rental income from taxes and sometimes offset other income. Turner explains that these tax benefits effectively increase your return. If you're in a 30% tax bracket and save $3,000 annually through real estate deductions, that's equivalent to earning additional pre-tax income. The power of leverage. Turner emphasizes that rental properties allow using leverage, borrowed money, to control assets worth far more than your investment. With $25,000 down, you can control a property worth $200,000. All 4 profit centers work on the full property value, not just your down payment. This leverage magnifies returns dramatically. If the property appreciates 5%, $10,000, you've earned 40% return on your $25,000 investment. The cash flow and loan paydown are calculated on the full property value, while you only invested a fraction. Building wealth through multiplication. Turner explains that one rental property builds modest wealth, but multiple properties create substantial wealth. If one property generates $500 monthly cash flow, 10 properties generate $5,000 monthly, $60,000 annually in passive income. The appreciation, loan paydown, and tax benefits multiply across all properties. He shares his personal journey from broke and sleeping on a friend's couch to financial freedom through systematically acquiring rental properties. The first property was hardest. Subsequent properties became easier as he refined his system and built resources. The accessibility of real estate. Turner addresses the common belief that real estate investing requires being wealthy. He argues the opposite. Real estate investing creates wealth for ordinary people because it's accessible. You can start with one property. You can use financing to minimize capital requirements. You can learn through doing rather than requiring years of education. He acknowledges real estate isn't passive initially. Finding, buying, and setting up properties requires work. But properly structured rental properties become relatively passive income over time, especially with good property management. Chapter 2. Setting your investment goals. Before diving into tactics, Turner insists on defining clear goals. Without knowing what you're trying to achieve, you can't make good decisions about which properties to buy, how to finance them, or when you've succeeded. Defining financial freedom. Turner asks readers to calculate their financial freedom number, the monthly passive income needed to cover living expenses comfortably. If your expenses are $4,000 monthly, your financial freedom number is $4,000. Once your rental income exceeds this number, work becomes optional. He emphasizes making this calculation realistic. Don't use your current survival level expenses. Use expenses that would support the lifestyle you want. Include housing, food, transportation, insurance, entertainment, travel, and buffer for unexpected costs. The 5 Goals Framework. Turner provides a framework for setting real estate investment goals. Goal 1. Number of properties. How many properties do you want to own? 1, 5, 20? This number should align with your financial freedom number and available time for management. Goal 2. Timeline. When do you want to achieve your property number? 1 year, 5 years, 10 years? This determines your pace of acquisition and effort required. Goal 3. Property type. What types of properties will you focus on? Single-family homes, small multifamily, larger apartments. Each has different advantages and challenges. Goal 4. Geographic focus. Where will you invest? Your local market, nearby markets, across the country. Local provides easier management. Distance can provide better returns. Goal 5. Exit strategy. What's your long-term plan? Hold forever. Sell some to pay off others. Build portfolio, then sell for lump sum. Your exit strategy affects how you buy and manage properties. Creating your investment criteria. Turner recommends establishing clear criteria for what properties you'll buy before you start looking. This prevents emotional decisions and ensures you only pursue properties that serve your goals. Criteria might include minimum cash flow, for example, $200 per door after all expenses, maximum price range, specific neighborhoods or cities, property types, and minimum returns on investment. Having these criteria written down helps you quickly evaluate whether properties merit deeper analysis. The importance of action. Turner emphasizes that goals without action are wishes. Once you've set goals and criteria, the challenge is taking action despite fear and uncertainty. He shares that his biggest regret is not starting sooner. Every year of delay was a year of wealth building lost. He addresses common fears: fear of losing money, fear of being a landlord, fear of not knowing enough, fear of market timing. His response: education reduces, but doesn't eliminate these fears. At some point, you must act despite residual fear. The learning that comes from doing your first deal is more valuable than months of additional reading. Adjusting goals over time. Turner notes that goals should be revisited and adjusted as circumstances change and you learn more. Your first goal might be buying 1 property. After achieving that, you might increase to 5 properties. After experiencing property management, you might adjust your property type preferences. The key is having clear goals at each stage to guide decisions, while remaining flexible as you gain experience and circumstances evolve. Chapter 3. Finding great rental property deals. Turner emphasizes that success in real estate investing comes from buying right. A great deal bought well will succeed even with mediocre management. A bad deal bought poorly will struggle even with excellent management. This chapter focuses on finding properties with the potential to be great investments. The MLS and working with agents. Most investors start with MLS, multiple listing service, properties listed for sale through real estate agents. Turner explains that while MLS properties are accessible and easy to find, they're also competitive because everyone sees them. Getting great deals on MLS requires acting fast, making strong offers, and having financing ready. He recommends building relationships with real estate agents who understand investment properties. Many agents focus on primary residence buyers and don't understand investor needs. Finding agents who work with investors, understand deal analysis, and will send you properties matching your criteria provides significant advantage. Direct marketing to find off-market deals. Turner advocates finding motivated sellers before properties hit MLS. Motivated sellers, those facing foreclosure, dealing with inherited properties, relocating for jobs, going through divorce, often accept below-market offers for quick, certain sales. Direct marketing methods include direct mail campaigns to target property owner lists, driving for dollars, finding distressed properties and contacting owners, door knocking in target neighborhoods, and bandit signs, though check local regulations. The key is consistency. One mailer won't produce results, but systematic monthly mailings to the same lists over time eventually catch sellers when they're motivated to sell. Building a buyer's list. Turner recommends making yourself known in your market as a serious buyer. Tell everyone, friends, family, co-workers, real estate professionals, that you're buying rental properties. Attend real estate investing meetups. Join BiggerPockets and local investing groups. The more people who know you're buying, the more deals will come your way. Wholesalers, investors who find deals and assign contracts to other buyers, can be excellent sources. Build relationships with wholesalers by being responsive, closing when you say you will, and being reasonable to work with. Analyzing neighborhoods. Not all properties in your price range make good rentals. Turner emphasizes analyzing neighborhoods as carefully as properties. Key factors include employment diversity, areas dependent on one employer are risky, crime rates, check local police data, school quality, affects tenant pool and resale, amenities and shopping, and rental demand indicators. He recommends driving target neighborhoods at different times, day, night, weekends, to see actual conditions. Talk to residents. Visit local businesses. Get a feel for whether you'd be comfortable owning property there. What makes a good rental property? Turner provides criteria for properties likely to succeed as rentals. Price range that matches your market's rental demographic, not too expensive for local rents to support, not so cheap that tenant problems become constant. Layout and features tenants want. Enough bedrooms, bathrooms for family demographics, parking, washer, dryer or hookups, storage condition that minimizes upfront renovation costs while being acceptable to quality tenants, not falling apart, not requiring luxury upgrades. Location convenient to jobs, schools, shopping. Tenants pay premium for convenience and stay longer in well-located properties. The importance of multiple lead sources. Turner emphasizes not relying on a single source for deals. Market conditions change. Successful strategies get copied and become less effective. Having multiple lead sources, MLS, direct mail, wholesalers, networking, ensures continuous deal flow, regardless of how individual channels perform. Chapter 4. Analyzing rental property deals. Turner dedicates substantial attention to teaching how to analyze whether a property will actually make money. This is where most beginning investors fail. They buy properties that look good superficially, but don't generate adequate returns once all costs are properly accounted for. The 50% rule. Turner introduces a quick screening tool. Assume operating expenses will be 50% of rental income. If a property rents for $1,500 monthly, assume expenses of $750. This includes property taxes, insurance, vacancy, repairs, capital expenditures, property management, and miscellaneous costs. This is rough estimation for initial screening, not precise analysis. But it's remarkably accurate across many properties. If a property doesn't work with the 50% rule, it probably won't work with detailed analysis either. Detailed expense analysis for properties passing initial screening. Turner provides a comprehensive expense breakdown, mortgage, principal, and interest payment based on purchase price, down payment, interest rate, and loan term. Property taxes, usually available from property records or tax assessor websites. Verify current taxes and research if assessments might increase with sale insurance. Get quotes from insurance companies based on property address and purchase price. Rental property insurance costs more than homeowner insurance vacancy. Budget for vacancy, even if property is currently rented. Turner recommends assuming 8% vacancy minimum, roughly 1 month per year. Repairs and maintenance. Budget for ongoing repairs and maintenance. Turner suggests $150 to $200 monthly for single-family homes, more for older properties or multifamily. Capital expenditures, CapEx, large periodic replacements like roofs, HVAC systems, water heaters, appliances. Budget monthly amounts that accumulate for future replacement needs. Property management. If using professional management, typically 8 to 10% of collected rent. Even if self-managing, budget this to account for your time and enable eventually hiring management. HOA fees, if applicable, include homeowner association fees, utilities. If landlord pays any utilities, include those costs. The importance of conservative estimates. Turner emphasizes that beginning investors consistently underestimate expenses and overestimate income. Sellers and real estate agents often provide unrealistic pro forma numbers showing properties in best possible light. His rule: be conservative on income, assume lower rents and higher vacancy, and aggressive on expenses, assume higher costs. If the deal still works with conservative numbers, it's likely a good deal. If it only works with optimistic numbers, pass. Key return metrics. Turner explains several metrics for evaluating returns. Cash flow, monthly income minus all expenses. Positive cash flow means the property pays you monthly. Negative means you're subsidizing it. Cash on cash return. Annual cash flow divided by total cash invested. Down payment plus closing costs and repairs. A $5,000 annual cash flow on $25,000 invested is 20% cash on cash return. Cap rate. Annual net operating income. Income minus operating expenses excluding mortgage, divided by purchase price. Useful for comparing properties and markets. Return on investment, ROI, accounts for all 4 profit centers: cash flow, appreciation, loan paydown, and tax benefits. Most comprehensive, but requires assumptions about appreciation. The 1% rule. Another screening tool. Monthly rent should be at least 1% of purchase price. A $150,000 property should rent for at least $1,500 monthly. Properties meeting this rule usually have adequate cash flow. Turner notes, this is market dependent. Expensive markets rarely hit 1%, while cheaper markets often exceed it. Use it as a comparison tool within your market, rather than an absolute requirement. running the numbers on real deals. Turner provides detailed examples working through calculations on actual properties, showing how changing assumptions, purchase price, down payment percentage, interest rates, rent estimates, expense estimates, affects returns. He demonstrates that small changes in assumptions can turn deals from great to terrible, emphasizing the importance of accurate analysis. Chapter 5. Financing rental properties. Most rental property investors use financing rather than paying cash, making understanding financing options critical. Turner explores conventional and creative financing strategies accessible to investors at different experience and resource levels. Conventional bank financing, traditional mortgages from banks, are the most common financing method. For investment properties, banks typically require 20 to 25% down payment, higher than primary residence. Good credit, typically 680 plus score, higher is better. Debt-to-income ratios showing ability to repay cash reserves, several months of property expenses, property appraisal confirming value. Turner explains that conventional financing offers lowest interest rates and most favorable terms, making it the go-to option when you qualify. The challenge is that most banks will only finance 4 investment properties per borrower, limiting this option as you scale. Portfolio lenders. These are banks and credit unions that keep loans in-house rather than selling them to secondary markets. Without conforming to Fannie Mae/Freddie Mac standards, they can be more flexible on a number of properties financed, down payment requirements, credit score minimums, debt-to-income calculations. Turner recommends building relationships with local portfolio lenders, especially community banks and credit unions. They often finance deals conventional lenders won't touch. FFHA loans, house hacking. One of Turner's favorite strategies for beginning investors is using FHA financing to buy a multifamily property, duplex, triplex, or fourplex, live in one unit, and rent the others. FHA allows as little as 3.5% down on primary residences, including small multifamily. The strategy: buy a triplex with FHA financing, live in one unit, rent 2 units. The rental income covers most or all of the mortgage while you live essentially free after a year. Buy another property and repeat, converting the first to a full rental property. Turner credits house hacking as the strategy that launched his investing career. It allows starting with minimal capital while learning property management on property you live at seller financing. In seller financing, the property seller acts as the bank, allowing you to make payments directly to them rather than getting a bank mortgage. This works when sellers own properties free and clear and prefer installment payments over lump sum. Advantages include flexible terms negotiated with sellers, minimal closing costs, potentially no credit check or income verification, and faster closing. Disadvantages include higher interest rates typically, balloon payments often required, and difficulty finding willing sellers, private money, and hard money. Private money comes from individuals, friends, family, wealthy acquaintances who lend for real estate investments. Hard money comes from companies specializing in short-term real estate loans. Both typically charge higher interest rates than banks, but offer speed, flexibility, and willingness to finance properties banks won't touch. Distressed properties needing renovation. Turner uses private hard money for fix and flip projects and bridge financing until conventional refinancing is available. Partnerships. When you lack capital or financing ability, Partnerships allow combining your deal finding and management skills with partners' capital or financing ability. Common structures include equal partnerships where profits split evenly, capital partnerships where money partners receive returns on their capital plus percentage of profit equity partnerships, where investors receive percentage ownership in exchange for capital. Turner emphasizes having clear written agreements specifying each partner's responsibilities, how profits, losses are split, decision-making authority, and exit procedures, creative financing strategies. Turner introduces several creative strategies, subject to taking over existing mortgage payments without formally assuming the loan, risky and requires seller cooperation. Lease options, leasing property with option to purchase later, controlling property without ownership initially, assuming loans, formally taking over existing mortgages with better terms than currently available. He cautions that creative financing requires additional legal knowledge and carries more risk than conventional financing. Use experienced real estate attorney and fully understand implications before proceeding. Chapter 6. Making offers and closing deals. Finding and analyzing deals means nothing if you can't successfully make offers and close purchases. Turner provides strategies for offer making and negotiation that maximize your chances of winning deals while protecting your interests. Determining your offer price. Turner's approach is working backward from desired returns. If you need $250 monthly cash flow minimum, a specific cash-on-cash return target, calculate the maximum purchase price, supporting those returns given estimated rents and expenses. This maximum price is your offer ceiling. You start below this ceiling to leave negotiation room, but you never go above it regardless of competition or seller pressure. Violating your numbers means buying a bad deal, making strong offers. Turner distinguishes between offer price and offer strength. A lower-priced offer with cash, quick closing, and minimal contingencies can beat higher-priced offers with financing, slow closing, and many contingencies. Elements of strong offers include proof of funds or pre-approval letters showing financial capability, minimal contingencies beyond inspection and appraisal, flexible closing timeline accommodating seller needs, earnest money deposits showing commitment, personal letters to sellers explaining your plans for property. The negotiation mindset. Turner teaches approaching negotiation as problem-solving rather than adversarial combat. Understand what sellers truly need. Is it maximum price, quick closing, ability to stay temporarily after closing, certainty of closing? Often you can give them what they need while getting what you need. He recommends asking questions rather than making assumptions. Why are you selling? What's your ideal closing timeline? What concerns do you have about offers? Understanding seller motivations allows crafting offers that serve both parties. Using inspection contingencies. Turner advocates, including inspection contingencies, allowing you to back out or renegotiate after professional inspection reveals problems. Most contracts allow requesting repairs or price reduction based on inspection findings. He emphasizes using this period for genuine due diligence, not as leverage for unwarranted price reduction. Request repairs for genuine issues inspection reveals, but don't nickel and dime sellers over minor items or things you knew about. Handling multiple offer situations. In competitive markets, multiple offers are common. Turner's advice: submit your best offer initially, rather than lowballing expecting negotiation. In multiple offer situations, sellers often accept the best offer without counteroffers. Consider including escalation clauses, agreeing to beat competing offers up to a maximum price. This gives you competitive advantage while capping your risk when to walk away. Turner emphasizes that walking away from bad deals is success, not failure. Most properties you analyze won't meet your criteria. Most offers won't be accepted. This is normal and healthy. It means you're maintaining discipline. He shares that, in his early years, he wanted every deal so badly that he occasionally bought marginal properties. In hindsight, these were mistakes. The deals he walked away from were often wins because they would have lost money or caused headaches. The closing process. Turner walks through what happens between accepted offer and closing. Title search ensuring clean ownership. Survey verifying property boundaries. Appraisal confirming value supports loan. Inspection revealing property condition. And final walkthrough confirming property condition unchanged. He recommends having an experienced real estate attorney review closing documents before signing, especially on your first few deals. The few $100s for attorney review can prevent costly mistakes. Chapter 7. Managing rental properties. Property management determines whether rentals are profitable investments or money-losing headaches. Turner provides frameworks for managing properties yourself or hiring professional management, covering tenant screening, maintenance, rent collection, and legal compliance. Self-managing versus hiring property management. Turner explains that self-management provides maximum cash flow since you're not paying management fees, typically 8 to 10% of collected rent, provides direct control over operations, and helps you learn property management fundamentals. Professional management provides freedom from tenant calls and issues, handles legal compliance you might not understand, and often has systems that operate more efficiently than individual landlords. His recommendation: self-manage your first property to learn the business, then hire management as you scale or if property is distant. The knowledge gained from self-managing your first property makes you a better property owner even when you hire management later. Tenant screening. Turner considers tenant screening the most important management function. Good tenants pay on time and care for property. Bad tenants cause endless problems and costs. His screening process includes written rental application collecting employment, income, rental history, and criminal background information. Credit report review checking for judgments, collections, bankruptcies, and payment history. Income verification through pay stubs or tax returns. He requires household income at least 3 times monthly rent. Rental history verification by calling previous landlords, not the current landlord, who might lie to get rid of problem tenants. Background check for criminal history, focusing on violent crimes, sexual offenses, and drug crimes. Turner's rule: apply screening criteria consistently to every applicant. Inconsistent application invites discrimination lawsuits. Lease agreements. Use comprehensive lease agreements, spelling out terms, conditions, and policies. Turner recommends using state-specific lease forms from landlord associations rather than creating your own, as these forms are legally tested and comprehensive. Key lease provisions include rent amount and due date, late fees and NSF check fees, maintenance responsibilities, pet policies, occupancy limits, lease duration, security deposit terms, and lease violation consequences. Rent collection: establish clear rent collection policies and enforce them consistently. Turner recommends rent due first of month, considered late after grace period, typically fifth of month. Late fees automatically assessed for late payments. NSF fees for bounced checks. Clear escalation process: friendly reminder, formal notice, eviction filing if not paid. The key is consistency. Tenants learn quickly whether landlords enforce rules. Lax enforcement trains tenants that rules are optional. Maintenance and repairs: create systems for handling maintenance requests. Multiple request channels: phone, email, tenant portal. Emergency versus non-emergency categorization: response time standards: emergencies within 24 hours, routine within 1 week. Vendor relationships for common repairs, preventive maintenance schedule. Turner advocates building relationships with reliable contractors for plumbing, electrical, HVAC, and general handyman work before you need them. When tenants call with emergencies, you don't want to be searching for contractors. The eviction process: despite best tenant screening, some tenants stop paying or violate leases, requiring eviction.
Turner explains this is a legal process requiring following specific procedures varying by state.
Generally, serve written notice of lease violation or non-payment, allowing time to cure. If uncured, file eviction with courts. Attend court hearing, receive judgment. Have sheriff physically remove tenant if they don't leave voluntarily. He emphasizes never skipping legal process or taking matters into your own hands. Illegal eviction exposes you to lawsuits. Follow the law precisely. Even when frustrated, legal compliance landlords must comply with federal, state, and local laws, including fair housing laws prohibiting discrimination, lead paint disclosure requirements, security deposit handling and return requirements, habitability standards, and eviction procedures. Turner recommends joining local and national landlord associations for legal resources, standard forms, and educational programs, keeping you compliant. Chapter 8: Building your rental property portfolio. After successfully acquiring and managing your first property, the challenge becomes scaling to build a portfolio providing substantial cash flow and wealth. Turner addresses strategies and challenges of portfolio growth. The scaling mindset: Turner explains that moving from one to multiple properties requires shifting from doing everything yourself to building systems and teams. You cannot personally manage every aspect as the portfolio grows. Success requires delegating, systematizing, and building infrastructure. Many investors get stuck at one or two properties because they can't make this mindset shift. They try to control everything personally and become overwhelmed, preventing further growth. The BRRRR strategy. Turner popularized the BRRRR strategy: buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat. Buy a distressed property below market value with cash or short-term financing. Rehab the property, adding value and making it rentable. Rent to qualified tenants, establishing rental income and value. Refinance with long-term conventional financing at new, higher appraised value. Pulling out most or all of initial capital. Repeat, using recycled capital to purchase next property. This strategy allows acquiring multiple properties with limited capital by recycling the same money across multiple deals. The challenge is finding properties with sufficient discount and upside to support the strategy. using equity to scale. As properties appreciate and loans pay down, equity accumulates. Turner explains using equity strategically through cash-out refinancing properties to extract equity for purchasing additional properties. Home equity lines of credit providing easy access capital. 1003-1 exchanges selling appreciated properties and using proceeds to buy multiple replacement properties. Tax-deferred building. Your team successful scaling requires building a team including real estate agents finding deals, property managers handling day-to-day operations, contractors performing renovations and repairs, accountants managing books and taxes, attorneys handling legal issues and asset protection, mortgage brokers sourcing financing. Turner emphasizes that strong teams allow managing larger portfolios with less personal time investment than managing small portfolios alone. Setting annual acquisition goals. Turner recommends setting specific acquisition goals, number of properties or doors, rental units, to add annually. Having concrete goals creates accountability and focus. He suggests starting conservatively, perhaps 1 property in year 1, 2 in year 2, increasing as you build confidence, capital, and systems. Rushing into too many properties too quickly often leads to problems when market conditions shift or unexpected issues arise. Portfolio diversification. As portfolios grow, Turner advocates diversifying across property types, single-family, small multifamily, larger apartments, neighborhoods and cities, and price ranges to spread risk. A portfolio concentrated in one neighborhood or property type faces concentrated risk if that area or type underperforms. When to slow down or stop. Turner addresses knowing when you've reached your goals and can shift from acquisition to maintenance mode. Some investors love the deal finding and acquisition process and continue expanding indefinitely. Others reach a target cash flow or property count and focus on managing what they have. The key is having clear goals so you recognize when you've achieved them rather than endlessly chasing more without purpose. We've explored Brandon Turner's complete system for building wealth through rental property investing, the 4 profit centers that make rental properties uniquely powerful, wealth building tools, setting clear investment goals that guide decisions, finding great deals through multiple channels, analyzing properties to ensure they'll actually make money, understanding financing options from conventional to creative, making offers and closing deals successfully, managing properties for maximum returns, and scaling from one property to a portfolio providing substantial cash flow and wealth. The power of Turner's approach is that it's proven and systematic. These aren't theories. They're strategies Turner and thousands of BiggerPockets members have used to build real wealth through real estate. The path is clear. Educate yourself, set goals, analyze deals systematically, buy properties that meet your criteria, manage them well, and repeat. Let's recap the core principles. Rental properties build wealth through cash flow, appreciation, loan paydown, and tax benefits working simultaneously. Success comes from buying right, finding and analyzing deals systematically. Multiple financing options exist for investors at different levels. Property management determines whether rentals are profitable or problematic. And scaling requires systems, teams, and recycling capital strategically. Here's your action plan. This week, calculate your financial freedom number, how much monthly passive income you need. Research rental markets within 2 hours of your location. Analyze 3 rental properties currently for sale using Turner's 50% rule. Connect with a real estate agent who works with investors. Join Bigger Pockets and start learning from the community. These actions move you from thinking about real estate investing to actually doing it. The perfect time to start building a rental property portfolio was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. Every month you delay is a month of wealth building lost to inaction. If this summary showed you that rental property investing is accessible and systematic, let me know in the comments what your first step will be. And if you want the complete frameworks with detailed examples, calculations, and Turner's full wisdom, pick up the book on rental property investing. It might be the most valuable real estate book you'll ever read. Until next time, remember, rental property investing isn't about luck or perfect timing. It's about knowledge, discipline, and action. You now have the knowledge, the discipline, and action are up to you. Your first rental property is waiting to be found, analyzed, and purchased. Go find it. Thank you for watching.